Session 1, take 1. Boop. First things first, I want to thank you for joining the YourStory Podcast. This is Session 1, Take 1. This is episode 18, but this is Session 1, Take 1 of the, it's like a chronicles, I guess you could say. Trying a new aesthetic, so I want to thank you, right, for the next 30 to 45 minute session, for joining me, allowing me to take up your time on this beautiful Monday morning, right? Because this will be coming out in the morning. I want to thank you. You know, if you're on the YouTube, if you're on the U of Tube, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe bell in that order. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. If you're on Spotify and you're listening to the smooth, sultry sounds of my voice, go ahead and hit that follow button. There's also a bell on there. Hit that as well. Leave a rating for the show. 5 stars is preferable. But whatever you got to say, as long as you say it from the heart, I'll accept it. There's a poll, I believe, that you can interact with. I haven't checked on that poll in a while. I need to get more active on there. I promise you I will. But interact with that poll. Let me know what you think of the episode. Let me know if you have any suggestions in the comments of the YouTube videos. There's also a TikTok that you can follow and an Instagram that you guys can follow. The Instagram is YourStory Podcast. I have it linked in my YouTube. The TikTok as well. It is, well, there's 2 TikToks, but one's personal, one's for the podcast. But again, I want to thank you. If you haven't already, take your shots. Salud. This is my imaginary shot cup. Salud. Pour one out for you, boy. Not pour, I guess no, because that would mean I'm dead. So don't pour one out for me. But pour one up for me. And I'm going to get into this session. I have my, imaginary person over there that I'm going to talk to. And we're going to get into it. And that's a wrap. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This new aesthetic I'm trying out is grayish scale. I might change it back. But it's basically grayed out for kind of I wanted to give like a old timey feel to it. And unfortunately they didn't have like the VCR type thing. If they do though, that'd be fire. That'd be real fire. But I wanted to give like an old timey feel to my videos, just so, or like even like a video recording, like an older video recording type feel to my videos, just so it's it's something new, something fresh for me. But this is something I'm just trying out. I don't know if it turns out nice, I'll stick with it. If it gets good traction, I'll stick with it. But we'll just have to see. I'm trying to embrace change, right? It's been something that I've been struggling with for a while now. Is I've never struggled with like picking apart my ways of doing things and trying to be more efficient. I've never struggled with that, but I have struggled with just accepting the fact that sometimes stuff has to change, and so I'm getting used to it, or trying to, especially if I want to be successful in anything I do. It's going to take change. It's going to take, growth and development. And if I'm so adamant about those 2 things, that being growth and development, if I'm so adamant about those two things, then it only makes sense for me to embrace it, right? I'm only 22. I be seeing Facebook posts. It's like, I'm only 22. I'm only 22. I still got room to grow. I'm only 22. The thing with me is, I'm 22, right? But I yearn for the wisdom of a 30 plus year old, right? And I hear people like, oh, you kind of have it, you kind of not all figured out, but you have a good head on your shoulders, and you're doing the thing for a 22-year-old. And I'm like, that's great and all, right? And this is where comparison is the thief of joy. I'm like, that's great and all, right? But when I compare myself to where I am now to either where I'd like to be, or where I see other people, because I have older friends, right? So I compare myself to where they are in life, this, that, and the third. Well, now I've just robbed myself of joy of really reveling, right? In the fact that you're right, I am 22. I do have, a good set of a good head on my shoulders, a good set of shoulders on my body, right? um, and I'm, for better or for worse, I really am doing the damn thing called life. Right? But at the same time, I want that wisdom of a 30-year-old at my young age, right? I want that wisdom. I want that experience. And it's like, that comes later. So I have to remind myself, as sometimes you do, right? You have to remind yourself, stop and smell the roses. And I don't spend enough time. I feel like we as a human species don't spend enough time really looking around, you know, and kind of basking in our reality. Where everybody, especially with social media, everybody, and I fall victim to this as well. Everybody's trying to chase after the next highlight, or chase after the next reel, or chase after virality, right? Or chase after, being the next big name or the next household name. Everybody's trying to chase after the bag, right? Everybody's trying to do something, right, to get their name out there, and or be involved in the conversation that has nothing to do with them, right? Or compare themselves to somebody who's put the work in, right? Or somebody who's, they may have got lucky, right? But they didn't get lucky just because like it just shined them. They put themselves in the opportunity to get lucky, right? But we're always comparing ourselves to those people who we see up here. But it's like, I think those people who are up here took time, right? Took the time while they were down on our level to really come to terms with where they were at, right? And then say, hey, this is where I'm at right now. I know that's where I want to be, but that comes later, right? They didn't see. I like to say this. I learned this like quote from a movie. I think I don't remember what movie, um, but basically it was like, you can't see the forest for the trees, which basically means like you can't see the beauty of the entire picture, I guess, right? Or no. Sorry, I broke that down wrong. You're trying to see everything at once, right? While only you're trying to see everything at once without really looking at what's right in front of you. And so for me, right, how I relate that quote to me, you can't see the forest for the trees. How I relate that quote to me is like I'm trying to be able to see like life from the through the lens of somebody, through the lens of an age, I guess, of age and experience, through the lens of somebody that's like way older, right? Way more experienced in whatever regard, right? I'm trying to see life through that lens, but I can only really see it through a 22-year-old's eyes. And because I'm trying so hard, that disconnect is there and it only discourages me more. I gotta stop that. I gotta stop that. And I wish I knew how to just turn it off. Sometimes I envy those people. I'm an overthinker by nature. And I envy those people who I have a couple people in my life who I ask them, what are you usually thinking about? Like when you're not doing anything or when you're just spacing out, what goes on in your head? And they'll sit up there and tell me nothing. Nothing goes on. They're not thinking about anything. They're just existing. They're just experiencing life. It's like have you ever seen Grey's Anatomy, right? There's a scene in there, I don't remember what season, right? But there's a scene in there, I think it was after Christina had gotten after Yang had gotten basically left at the altar, right? Which is anyways. Christina got left at the altar, right? And uh, she was staying at um, Meredith's and Derek, I think, and Shepard's house, right? And one day, right, Shepard had enough. He had enough of Yang's, because that's what all Yang did, man, is would yap. And yap, she was an overthinker. I feel like that her character was written to be an overthinker, right? So all she would do is just talk and think and talk. And whenever she wasn't thinking, she was talking. And whenever she wasn't talking, she was thinking about talking. It was just a whole bunch of this, right? And he had enough because if you know anything about Grey's Anatomy and the relationship between Yang and Meredith, great. They're basically like this, right? They're damn near inseparable by bond, right? So it's like she was living with them, she was doing a whole bunch of this, a whole bunch of yapping. She was always basically interfering, and he had enough. So one day, I'm giving major spoilers, but one day he takes her on the lake, as you do, right? Went to go fishing. Because I feel like fishing is that sport where when you just really need to connect. Fishing, hiking, I feel like are those activities where when you just really need to connect with the earth, go back to your roots, I guess. That's what you do, right? And so he takes her on the lake, takes her fishing. Small boat, they're just kind of like basically in front of each other, right? Sitting down. And of course, as you do when it's your first time fishing, you don't know what's going on. It's super silent around you. Like he took her in the middle of the lake. It's super silent around you, right? But what he showed her, right, and she was asking a whole bunch of questions, and as she does, yapping away, right? And he basically told her, like, she was ridiculing everything. He basically told her, you have to just not even necessarily relax. Like he didn't even tell her relax. He was just like, peace, be still. If you want if you want the fish to come up to you, right, you're gonna have to shh, because they need calmness around them, right, in order for them, for you don't want to scare them away. So you're gonna have to be quiet. And two, that's what you do on the lake, right? And it's like sometimes in life you just gotta be quiet. You just gotta find peace and let everything else kind of flow into you or flow towards you. How I got on that tangent, I really don't know. How I got on that tangent, I really don't know. But I will say this: taking the whole that's how I got on that tangent, right? It's no, still trying to find out how to connect it, still can't. Um so I'm sorry. But basically, yeah, you gotta let peaceful energy, right, flow towards you. And I'm trying to have the wisdom of a 30 plus year old through the lens of a 22-year old, and that disconnect is just not gonna work. Right? That disconnect is not gonna work. And so it's more of a case for me, right? A personal lesson for me is just, and a personal lesson for anybody out there, right? Is just chill. You're on the right path, and I know at some points, right, you're looking to the left, you're looking to the right, and some things are misaligned. But it's that keep going mentality, right? It's that keep going, keep developing. It's also that realize like realize and accept where you are, and then make an active choice to change it. And change is going change that breaking down, right, is going to be scary. For me, it's always been about stability, right? It's or the scary aspect of change, right? It's always been about stability. It's always been like you can't stay in one place. And I know that stems from my childhood because we moved a lot. And I didn't grow up in the military, which is the even crazier part, but we moved a lot, right? And so I always figure, yo, stability is going to be a big thing in my life. It's going to be a big hurdle. But the great thing about track and field for me, the great thing about running track and field for me is that they had us do hurdles, right? And them first, like they during practice, they had us do hurdles. Them first couple of hurdles, boy, I look like a scrub out there. I had to like basically step over it, right? And if you've ever done track and field, if you've ever seen a hurdle event, they be clearing them, right? You run and jump. They're clearing these hurdles. I'm a scrub at hurdles. I won't deny it. I won't deny it. But I'll tell you this: I probably can't run as fast as somebody else on hurdles, but I can definitely. I've gotten to a point now where I can run and jump and not fall and keep going. I started from I'm gonna have to step over it, right? I'm gonna have to, and even then, that whole stepping over the hurdles and stuff, that stuff wasn't easy. You know, that stuff isn't easy. You see, a hurdle is a little bit. I'm 5'7", so a hurdle is a little bit taller than my hip height, than my waistline, right? Like by an inch, maybe two. So imagine having to get your leg over more than your waist, right, at ground zero, and then having to repeat that. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, and it's awkward, right? And you fall. But one thing my coach said was like, "Yo, it's okay to suck at this for right now. We're in practice." He was like, "It's okay to suck. We're in practice right now. You're going to suck, especially since this is your first year doing anything track and field related. You're gonna suck. I was falling. I was scraping knees and bruises. My hips was hurting. I, I was about 15 with hip problems because of track and field. I felt old, but I bet you this. I tell you this. In practice, right? By the time practice ended, by the time my hip was done hurting and practice had ended, I could run and jump over a hurdle without falling. I had to get those few bumps and bruises out the way. So that's why I'm more um, like headstrong when it and adamant when it comes to facing the hurdles that I have in life, right? Because the stuff that I learned in my childhood can now be applied to my adult life. And that's another thing that I'm just like, yes, 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 because stability, right, and staying in one place, right, in one location has is a hurdle for me. But through trial and error, right, through tackling it head on, right, and through practice, it'll be a hurdle I can get over. I'm just saying. So with that being said, any hurdles, right, that you have in life, one, trace it back to childhood because I'm pretty sure you faced it then. But any hurdles you have in life, any obstacles, any issues, and situations, right? And even let's say your obstacle is you want to build a name for yourself, right? I learned this from Blue Lock. Anybody who says anime doesn't have life lessons and isn't applicable in the real world, you don't watch enough good anime. Quit watching Dragon Ball Z. But I learned this from Blue Lock, right? The main character was a nobody. He was a nobody, average Joe, not thinking for himself, right? But through practice, through trial and error, through accepting his defeat multiple times, right? Accepting his reality, right? Accepting where he was, where his skill level was, where he wanted. He compared himself to where he wanted to be, right? But he knew in order to get to where he wanted to be, he had to break down who he is in the moment, right? He didn't. He saw the forest, right, by looking at the trees, right? He didn't see the forest for the trees. He saw the forest, right? He saw the big picture by being able to break down the smaller pictures and put them together. To get over these hurdles, to get over these issues in life, I feel like to get where you want to be in life, pick a goal, right? And then begin to break down your reality. In, not even necessarily in comparison to the goal, but just break down your reality of where you are right now. And then do small stuff to build up towards it. Isagi, the main character, he didn't get goaded. Right? All the pieces didn't fit immediately. He had to build each piece one by one, right? He had to build his force or his what is this thing called? It's like foresight basically, right? He had to build his field of vision, right? He had to build his field of vision. He had to build his direct shot and his shooting ability, right? He had to build his off the ball, like he had to build all those skills. One, by realizing where he wanted to be, and then by realizing where he wanted to be, right? By accepting where he is now, and then by trying to fit the pieces or find the pieces, right, that'll fit in order so he can build that ladder up to where he wants to get to. He didn't get that way, and that's just an anime. But that's applicable for any athlete, any artist, right? Any celebrity. They didn't get goated, right? By just comparing where they are now to where they wanted to be. They didn't get goated like that. They realized where they wanted to be, right? Will Smith said it best. He's like, I want to be the biggest movie star. But he wasn't, he had to start small, right? He had to start somewhere and then just build his name. Each movie he did, right, and each project he was a part of helped build his name as Will Smith. And yes, there's luck involved. There's always there's life is a probability of numbers and coincidences. Luck is involved in everything. There's luck is involved in everything. But it's putting yourself, I've learned, right? It's putting yourself in the position to where the moment that luck shines, you can grab the opportunity. Virality is literally just that. Putting yourself in the position to where the moment that luck shines on you and you just so happen to hit it on the head, right? You just so happen to get the right hashtag, the right content, whatever the case may be. The moment that luck eventually is like, hey, I'm going to shine on you, you grab at the opportunity and you don't let it go. Put yourself in the position, right, to where luck can shine on you. And the best way to do that is just to keep at it. Keep chipping away. Keep chipping away. The best sculptors in life, it's in a SpongeBob episode, bro. You can't just think and it be Michelangelo or the statue of Adam. You can't just do that. Unfortunately, that's just not the life we live, bro. It's not a cartoon. So if you're a sculptor, right, and if you view your life, right, as a sculpture, then you just got to keep chipping away at it, piece by piece. Some pieces that you chip away at are going to be bigger than others, right? But at the end of the day, when all is said and done, and you have that complete project, you'll be glad that you kept chipping away at it. But that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents. And I'm moving on from said 2 cents. I have more to give, because speaking of celebrities, I don't understand the whole celebrity crush. That's another reason why I'm probably like not good at relationships, because I don't understand the whole celebrity crush aspect. Like the fact that there's a person in this natural world that you're like, hey, irregardless of what I got going on with you, if they present themselves to me on some trying to get into some action, right? Trying to come back to minds. If they present that opportunity, I'm snatching it. I don't get that. Especially if you're married. Because it's like, huh? I understand. I can understand having like somebody that you really want to meet. I understand that aspect. I do. Like a celebrity or an influencer or creator, whatever, like somebody, like let's say it's Mr. Beast. Like I understand having a celebrity that you just really want to meet. I get that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's some people that I'm like, yo, if I got the chance to meet y'all, it would be great. I understand that. I get it. I really do. And I'm on board with it. I'm fine with that. If I had a girl, and in the moments where I did have a girl, if she was like, I really want to meet this celebrity, right? Then I'm like, cool, like I have no, let's go. Like, let's go to a concert, let's go to a show, whatever the case may be. Like, let's go meet that celebrity for you. let's go, knock that off your bucket list, right? Because yeah, do that, right? Because if it was me, I would snatch the opportunity too to meet the person that I want to meet, right, in life. But to reduce yourself, right, to a groupie, to a fan fanatic, knowing you in a relationship, I don't know about that one, sir, ma'am, y'all. I don't know about that one. See, I just don't know about. I don't. That's not in my bag, and it's okay to say it's not in your bag. What God did is He made everybody unique in their own way. We share a lot of similarities, we share a lot of similarities. There's not a single idea under the sun that hasn't been thought of before. I promise you that. We share a lot of similarities as the human race, right? Anybody out, any alien or whatever the case may be, maybe they're gonna be like, y'all are all the same, bro. Y'all just come in different shades. Y'all just come in different shades. Y'all are all the same. If I cut you, if I slice your arm and slice your arm, guess what you gonna do? Guess what both y'all gonna do? Bleed. You feel me? If y'all are looking this way and I make a loud noise over here, if y'all are looking to the right and I make a loud noise to the left, guess what both y'all gonna do? Look to the left. Y'all are all the same. Y'all are all the same. Y'all all watching fireworks on the 4th of July. Anyways, what God did is made us all unique, right? In one way or the other, right? There's something about us that isn't. One of these things is not like the other. And I can say for me, having somebody, being in a relationship, right? And then watching my girl be reduced to a groupie and me being okay with that, not in my bag. Not in my bag. Now, as far as like what she wears, I can really give a fuck, right? I can really give a fuck. Because I feel like clothes is a clothes are a funny thing to be like fickle about. It's a real funny thing to be fickle about. It's like I understand like you there's a certain amount of skin that like should be like of showing that should be reserved for your partner. I get that. I understand that sentiment. I really do. I really do. Right? But also it's like don't if you're with somebody, right, who's used to showing a certain amount of skin, regardless of whether they're with you or not, if you are with this person, right, then that means that that's in your. To me, it's like if you're with this person and at some point she or he are going or they are going to show a level of skin, right, that you may or not be comfortable with. You obviously were comfortable with it enough to get with them, right? But if you know this and you still get with them, then I'm assuming that you being comfortable with them showing that amount of skin is in your bag, right? That's in your Duffy. So let it be in your Duffy and don't make a big fuss about it. It's not in my Duffy, right? I'm okay with a certain amount of skin showing. I have no issue with a certain amount of skin showing, but I know there's certain venues, there's certain atmospheres, there's certain stuff where I'm just like a plethora of skin should not be showing, and that's not in my bag to be comfortable with. So I just wouldn't get with that person, right? That's why Instagram exists. That's why social media exists. Because you can, now at least, you can vet the person. You can literally vet the person that you're trying to be in a relationship with. So if it's not in your bag to be comfortable with, right? Don't try to don't try to act like it's in your bag, right? And then when it comes time to really prove it, now you got an issue with it. Because in this day and age, if you have an issue with something that you signed up for, it is taken as an insecurity against you, and they're going to get you for it. The internet is always going to get you for it. So just, if it's not in your bag, right? One, be honest with yourself, right? If it wasn't in your bag, you probably shouldn't have signed up for it, right? There's a terms and conditions on every contract for a reason, bro. Because they're saying, yo, this is what you're gonna get when you sign up with us. If you sign up, whatever we do, you signed up for it. So quit bitching. Plain and simple. Stop bitching. But also, if we do it and you get to bitching, I'm gonna shove this contract in your face and say, look where you signed on the dotted line. So with that being said, if it's not in your bag, don't pretend like it is. And definitely don't take to social media about it. Because when it comes to stuff like clothes, man, these women out here, they this day and age, they don't want none of that. If you got something to say about what somebody else wears and you're a man, sorry, bruh. Yeah. What did they say? How you gonna try and unbaddie a baddie? You knew she was a baddie when you got with her. Don't try to tone her down. That's what the rhetoric is. And I align with the sentiment of, hey, I got a certain set of morals. Like I said, it's not in my bag to have my girl out here just showing skin on the basis of she wants to, like, no, it's not. That's not in my bag, right? To just be out here ass cheek out, no, that's not in my bag, right? It's just not. Yes, you're bad. Don't get me wrong. If I see you out in nature, yeah, you bad, and you can have that. You can have that of I can appreciate beauty without wanting to. I can appreciate your beauty without wanting to cuff you. At the same time, you're bad, and I would never say anything like, oh, you need to. I genuinely don't care because you can be bad over there. It's as simple as that. You can be bad over there. You can be gorgeous as all get out. You wouldn't try to unbad either. It's like I also wouldn't put myself in a position to where I would feel that like, yep. And if I know how to pick them. So that's what I'm saying. I have no issue with a certain amount of skin tone, you know, because if my girl is beautiful, be beautiful. Let's go be beautiful people together. Like that's really what it is. It's like if my girl is beautiful, there's no let's go be beautiful together. But also, don't go be beautiful, right? And have next man grinding up on you at a concert. Not gonna fly in my book. That's why that brings it back to the groupie stuff. Not gonna fly in my book. I don't care who you meet. if have your fun with your clothes, right? But if next man can get so close as to rub groins with you, we got an issue then. We for sure got an issue then, right? Like I said, it's not in my bag to be comfortable, right, with my partner being reduced to a groupie when she meet whoever she want to meet. It's not in my bag. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. Fuck that. Cause no, yeah, no. If next man can reduce you to screaming your head off, rubbing loins, and fawning and fainting, the only person who has that pass is Michael Jackson, and bro is dead. The only person who has that pass for you to absolutely fangirl over is Michael Jackson. He's 6 feet under. That means nobody on this here earth has that pass. I don't know. So that's what you should have took to Twitter about. The fact that she was reduced to a fangirl. Her clothes is one thing, man. She bad. But but also yeah, the rhetoric is also you that's conversation you have with them in private, which is I can agree, let her do her thing in public, right? Chastise her in private, because then at that point y'all have had y'all's conversation, right? Y'all's had y'all's conversation. She go out and do it again. Now you know how to move. The first transgression, right? You don't necessarily let it slide, but you definitely peep it, and then you decide whether you want to let it slide or you want to cut it. I say cut it, right? After the first transgression, you get a stern warning. You get a stern like, hey, that's not gonna fly with me, right? I let you have your fun this time. That's not gonna fly with me, right? And then if they decide to do it again, then now you know how to move. But you do that in private, right? You don't do it. You definitely don't do it on the internet, bro. Because this, especially on Twitter, because Twitter is full of people who don't know how to feel one week to the next. They don't. Twitter is digital tennis when it comes to feelings and when it comes to emotions. Digital tennis. One week we feel this way, the next week we feel this way. Don't do it. If it's not in your bag, don't do it. Do not take to the internet with it, because they just they're gonna have fun with you. Bro, do you act like, yeah, no. Don't, not on Twitter, bro. Not on Twitter. But speaking of Twitter, speaking of the young Twitter, um, there we go. I never went to a HBCU, right? For attendance. I went to visit, because in high school they go and take you to colleges and stuff like that. So I went to visit. But I love Twitter, apart from the emotional seesaw, right? And we're up in arms about this. Apart from that, there's some hidden gems, right? There's some hidden gems. And there's some people on Twitter who are just so out of pocket, and their situations are just so out of pocket that you just have to read them off and deliberate about them. So, with that being said, HBCU confessions. Got one that says, I love my boyfriend so much. He always cheats on me though. I peep a pattern. He always cheats with light-skinned women. I'm dark-skinned. Feel like I'm not enough for him. I'm thinking about skin bleaching to make him happy. I think I'll be happier lighter also. Should I do it? No. 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 Why would you? And this is when I say, bro, some women are just the epitome of Delulu. Because first starters, right? Your guy cheats on you. Right? He didn't not cheat. He cheats. Enough so to where you can see a pattern, right? So he's a habitual cheater. This is his lifestyle. He's not giving up the game for you. Like, and at this point, he don't care. He's cheating on you with the same caliber of women. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he's bringing her over, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if he's bringing the girl that he's cheating on you with over to the dorm while you're there. I wouldn't be surprised if she's sending you pictures. Like, so yeah. So your guy cheats on you habitually, right? With the same caliber of light skinned women, right? And I just know they bad. I don't you face date. I think I just know they bad. As in, not because of their complexion, just because of their superficial beauty, right? Anyways, I'm sure you bad too, right? Love dark skinned women, but anyways, he's cheating on you with light skinned women, right? You're dark skinned, and so in your Delulu mind, you think, one, I should make him happy, right? One, you're thinking I'm not enough, right? Two, you're thinking I should make said cheater happy. Three, you thinking I should make said cheater happy by altering my complexion to make him happy. And four, you think you would be happier by altering your complexion. Baby girl, darling, don't do it. Please don't. We need more chocolate women. We need more beautiful chocolate women in the world. We do. And what's up with this? What's up with this dark skin complexion hate? Like, don't no, especially not for no cheating ass nigga. Like, no, make him happy. He is happy. He's happy doing. He's happy doing what he's doing. He's happy cheating. He's already happy. You don't need to change yourself to accommodate him. He's a scrub. He's a trash individual. Because if if you alter your skin, you skin bleach, right? You Michael Jackson yourself. Who's to say it's gonna stop him from cheating? Fuck a pattern, right? Who's to say it's the simple matter is he's cheating, right? Once a cheater, 9 times out of 10, always a cheater. So who's to say that he's gonna stop cheating just because you decided that you wanted to bleach your skin? Don't do it, darling. Don't do it. Because that's a deeply rooted internal hatred for your skin complexion. It might be because I don't know whether you got made fun of in school, whatever the case may be, right? Don't do it. You in college, you at a HBCU, baby girl, you gonna blossom. You gonna come into your own in college. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen people I went to high school with who was just no, would have never looked their way, right? Would have never looked their way. They blossomed in college, right? They found themselves in college, and they love themselves for it, right? Don't bleach your skin. Don't do it. Don't alter your complexion to accommodate somebody in the hopes that it'll make them happy. It's not. It's not. If they not fucking with you for who you are, leave them, kick them to the curb. I don't really like talking too much about relationship stuff because I feel like it's a unique thing that you kind of got to figure out. But also, yeah, nah, don't do that. That's no. We need more beautiful dark skinned women in the game. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's what the song says. The darker the black the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I promise you, you're gonna love yourself more by accepting the skin that you're in rather than trying to alter the skin for somebody who chose some bullshit. Kick him to the curb, right? And fall back in love with your skin. Fall back in love with this, right? You're black. And you beautiful because of it, right? Light skinned women are cool, you know. Light skinned women are cool. They not, you know. And this is no complexion. Hey, this is none of that, right? All complexions are beautiful, right? But also, yeah, no, don't alter your skin for some random nigga who want to cheat, who's cheats like he's constantly like he don't care about you. The fact that he's cheating and you peeped it, he's cheating long enough for you to peep a pattern. Yeah, he don't care. He don't care that he gets caught. No, don't let that delusional bullshit come to you. I really hope you got friends who tell you, "Hey, what are you talking about right now?" I hope before you post this stuff, read it to a friend. Read it to your parents. Delusional. Session over, man. Session over, man. Yeah, I didn't talk for the next 50. Session over. I'm glad y'all could come to my TED talk. Glad y'all could come to my TED talk. I really hope all of that recorded. Um, but with that being said, hopefully the aesthetic was nice. If you're on the YouTubes, remember, like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment down below what you thought of the episode. If you're on Spotify, follow, bell, rating. Let me know what you think in the polls. I'll catch you guys on the next one, on the next session, right? Take care of yourselves. And that's a wrap. See, what you gotta do is